The stormy night had just settled over the vast mansion of billionaire Raymond Hartwell, but inside those shining marble halls lived a silence far deeper than the quiet outside, the silence his 7-year-old son, Ethan, had known since birth. Ethan had been diagnosed as profoundly deaf, and despite the world-class doctors, surgeries, and therapies his father had paid for, nothing ever changed. Ethan lived in his own silent bubble, observing the world but never truly hearing it. Raymond, a man feared in business but soft-hearted for his only son, carried the guilt of believing he'd failed the boy's mother, his late wife, who died giving birth to him. Every nanny the mansion hired quit within weeks because Ethan's condition required constant patience and gentle communication. That was until the day a quiet young maid named Clara arrived, her soft demeanor hiding the fact that she had once worked as a caregiver in a small-town clinic, caring for special needs children. From the moment she met Ethan, she did something no one else had done. She didn't treat him like he was broken. She knelt to his level, smiled, touched his hand gently, and Ethan, for the first time in years, smiled back. Days turned into weeks, and the bond between them strengthened. Clara learned his gestures, his expressions, what made him happy, and what made him anxious. She taught him colors through touch, feelings through drawings, and stories through expressions. Raymond watched all this secretly from behind corridors, his admiration for Clara growing without his permission. One afternoon, while the staff was cleaning the West Wing, Clara noticed something strange. Ethan kept scratching behind his ear, wincing, shaking his head as if trying to get rid of something. She assumed it was irritation from his hearing aid shell, which he wore even though it never worked. But when she removed the shell to clean it, she froze. Something inside the narrow fold of Ethan's outer ear canal looked wrong. Something dark. She gently tilted his head toward the light and saw a tiny movement. Her breath caught. A long, black, spiny insect, almost like a small centipede, was wedged deep inside, as if it had been living there for years. Horrified but steady, Clara slowly held Ethan's shoulders, keeping him calm as she used tweezers to grip the creature's tail. Ethan stood frozen, wide-eyed, sensing her fear though not hearing her calm voice. As the creature wriggled, Clara pulled with gentle strength until the entire multi-legged insect slid out with a sickening squirm. She gasped in disbelief. How long had this been there? Had doctors missed it? Could this parasite have been damaging his inner ear all along? At that exact moment, Raymond walked into the hallway, saw Clara holding the long, horrifying insect, and felt the blood drain from his face. Before he could speak, Ethan's eyes widened. His surroundings suddenly felt different. The silence wasn't absolute anymore. A faint hum, a vibration, something new flickered at the edge of his senses. Clara spoke his name softly, not expecting any response, but Ethan suddenly blinked and turned his head toward her voice. Raymond's world stopped. Clara's hands trembled. Ethan touched his ears, confused, frightened, overwhelmed. Clara spoke again, louder this time, saying his name, and Ethan gasped. He heard something. Not clearly, not fully, but he heard. The mansion erupted into frantic activity as Raymond rushed forward, lifting Ethan into his arms, tears flooding his face as he shouted for the driver to start the car. At the hospital, specialists were baffled. Years of incorrect assumptions had allowed a living parasite to remain inside Ethan's ear canal, slowly damaging and blocking his auditory pathway. Removing it had relieved pressure that had been suppressing vibrations. With treatment, the doctors said, Ethan could potentially gain partial or even full hearing over time. Raymond couldn't believe what he was hearing. Millions spent on specialists around the globe, and a humble maid had been the one to discover the truth. He returned home that night with Ethan sleeping peacefully in his arms and found Clara sitting quietly in the servants' quarters, unsure if she had done something wrong. Raymond knelt before her, a billionaire on his knees before a maid, and whispered, "You gave my son something no one else could. You saved him." Clara, overwhelmed by emotion, tried to brush it off as luck, but Raymond could see the kindness and courage she carried. Over the next weeks, Ethan began hearing more, little sounds, soft tones, Clara's laughter, Raymond's voice cracking when he said, "I love you," for the first time. The mansion, once painfully silent, filled with new life. Ethan pointed to the piano one morning, and Clara, laughing softly, played a gentle melody. The boy listened, mesmerized by the music he had never known existed. Raymond watched them, realizing that Clara had not only changed Ethan's life, she had changed his. He hired tutors for her, offered her a higher position, but she refused, wanting only to stay by Ethan's side as long as the boy needed her. One evening, as they all sat together by the fire, Ethan spoke his first word, "Duh, duh." Raymond sobbed into Clara's shoulder as she helped Ethan form the word again. The miracle the world couldn't give, Clara had given by noticing what others overlooked. And as the screen fades on this emotional journey of love, bravery, and unexpected miracles, the narrator's voice rises. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories just like this one. Don't forget to like, share, and turn on notifications, because the next story might change someone's life the way Clara changed Ethan's.